yeah, even buying any of the Hermes bags, they have been criticised by people of saying, why are you playing the game, which I'm not. Why would you buy Hermes? It's ridiculous, which for me it isn't. They're not worth it. To me they are, but you get the drift. People do criticise your choices based on what they would do rather than thinking that it's something that I enjoy. So why, you know, if I've made that decision, then that's my decision. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Which of my bags have I never ever used? You might be surprised at the answer to this. I've also got a few other things to talk to you about. Let's get going. I have been tagged by the gorgeous Jerusha. So thank you, my love, for tagging me. I thought I would jump on here and do this tag video just because it's a bit of fun. So Jerusha wants to know, out of my handbags, which is the most used, the least used, the never used, the most criticised, I think it is, and the most complimented. And I think what she means by criticised is the one that people tend to not like as much. I assume that's what we're going with. So I thought I'll whiz through these because it's actually quite surprising. Wait till later. I'm going to tell you the bag that I have never used. And as I've said, you might be surprised. So let's kick off with the most used. Now, if this is the most used ever, then it has to be this one. It has to be the Neverfull, which is probably on a lot of people's lists of most used because they're just very handy, aren't they? And we can use them for many, many different things. And we tend to just keep these for years and years and just use them. So I would say that I'll introduce you to it. This is the Neverfull from Louis Vuitton in the GM size, obviously in the monogram. And mine is the original, can't even see it in there, beige interior. So that has to be my most used. However, if we're talking about my most used recently, then it's probably this one. It's probably this one. And again, I blame or thank Jerusha for this one because this is the Speedy 20. And I put my little bag charm on it. And I have been using this non-stop. I've just honestly fallen in love with the Speedy. If you've seen my recent unboxing, you will know that I've just added another Speedy to my collection. When will it end? Probably never. Anyway, this definitely, we'll come on to that. This is definitely one of my absolute favourite bags of all my collection, but definitely of the Speedies. The 20 is just such a great size. You can fit loads in, but it still looks great. Crossbody, it's so versatile. As I say, crossbody, shoulder bag, top handle. Let's not talk about the strap that it comes with, which is the guitar strap, which is not my favourite, but I used the strap from my Speedy 25 Damier Azure on this and I just really love it. So this is the most used recently, if that makes sense. The least used bag. This was really difficult. I went through all of my bags and I thought, which is the absolute least used? And I've sort of got it down to two because I'm not entirely sure. I think both of these are probably on a par. So let's go with this one first. So it is this one. I think this is definitely one of my least used bags because it's so special. This is the Fendi First. I'll bring it a little bit closer. This is the Fendi First in the beautiful sequins in the navy blue, midnight blue, and it is the different shapes and sizes of the sequin. So they call this the rain. And it is just beautiful. And I've talked about this a lot. It's got the Zucker print, it's got a shoulder strap, which you can do crossbody. It actually looks fine crossbody. This is a very special bag. And I've talked about this in another video where I've sort of explained that I really don't use this bag because the occasion has to be right to use this. But that's okay. In my brain, that is okay. I think I've used this twice. I think. I definitely took it to the races once, and I definitely took it to a friend's birthday once. And they're the only two I can remember. So I think it's twice. But I sort of don't care because it is such a special piece. I'm hoping that is coming up. I have a new layout, guys. I am fiddling around every video with trying to get the lighting right, the angles right. Oh, anyway, it's a whole thing. It really is. I have moved my closet. I've got a much bigger room now. I've got a full dressing room and it is amazing. I'm spending most of my time in here. And I don't know if you can see, George is now back with me. Yay! I'm going to get a stand. Somebody recommended or suggested that I get a stand and then I can stand him up properly, because at the moment he's just leaning. But anyway, he's with me. Here he is, and I'm very happy about that. I really am. But yeah, so if the angle of this is a bit off, or anyway, I'm doing my best. I will figure it out at some point, but I'm hoping this does come up because it is just absolutely stunning. So I think this is definitely one of the least used, but I don't mind. I don't care that it's my least used. And the other one that I came up with is this one. And I've talked about this one a few times. This is the absolutely stunning mini capucines in the purple ostrich. So this is an exotic, and it is just the most beautiful, beautiful bag. But since my, where are you? Since my lizard mini capucines came into my world, this one hasn't had a look in. So again, I'm trying to remember when I last wore this, and I cannot even remember, which is terrible because it's so beautiful. I definitely took this to London when I met the Handbag tribe for the first time. That was so amazing trip. So I definitely took it to that, and I think I took it to a Louis Vuitton event again in London. I must have used it more than that. Maybe this is the least used, but this is definitely up there with it. And I've talked about this a few times. For some reason, the Fendi First, I'm at peace with only using that on occasion. But for some reason, this irks me that it's sat there doing nothing, and I can't quite work out why. I think it's because I've already got the other capucines there, and I think they're competing against each other. So this is never going to get a look in. Whereas the Fendi First, when I need a bag like this, a showstopper, bit of moment, then I've got this, and it doesn't compete with anything. So I don't know what to do with this. I keep umming and ahhing. Anyway, these two are my least used, I think. Okay, you might be very, very surprised at the next one. So this is the bag that I have never used. And I have gone through every single bag in my collection. And there are many, there are many. And the honest truth is, I've used them all. I have used them all, even if it's just once or twice. I cannot find a bag that I have never used. So I think that's the answer. That might surprise some of you, but I do just want to use my bags. I don't want to keep them as ornaments or as investment pieces. It's great to be able to sell them if you want to in the future and realise some of your money back. It's nice to have that bit of comfort, but I never have bought a bag purely for investment. And I know some people, I know Jerusha has done that. I think it was the Pearl, was it the Pearl Mini that she has from Chanel? And I know another couple of people that have done the same thing, where they've bought a piece for it to be, I'm not going to use it, I'm going to keep it in the box, that is an investment for later. Or they've bought something as decoration. Amelia from Amelia Rose's Closet, she has her Speedy multicolour in the black that she bought at the time, and she bought it for her office, and it is a centerpiece, a piece of art. She has never used it, she never wants to use it. So I know that that does happen, but I personally haven't done that. So I cannot answer it other than saying I don't have one. I've used all my bags. Okay, so the most critiqued, and I think Jerusha means in this the one that people have in effect criticised the most or been most critical of. Well, there are maybe a couple of bags where people have been absolutely floored by how much that I may have spent on a bag. So I've had those sort of comments, but I get those comments across all of these bags sometimes anyway. So maybe, yeah, even buying any of the Hermes bags, they have been criticised by people of saying, why are you playing the game, which I'm not. Why would you buy Hermes? It's ridiculous, which for me it isn't. They're not worth it. To me they are, but you get the drift. People do criticise your choices based on what they would do rather than thinking that it's something that I enjoy. So why, you know, if I've made that decision, then that's my decision. But yeah, the Hermes bags can be quite, yeah, criticised, shall we say, critiqued. My Speedy P9, which is just, try not to knock it down. My Speedy P9, I don't think it's being criticised as such, as in the look of the bag or anything like that, but it's more what you went and bought a Speedy P9, they're a ridiculous amount of money. That is just ridiculous. So again, it's more on the money that I've spent on certain things that has drawn the criticism. So there's a few like that, but I wanted to also point out two others that have had direct criticism. So this is the first one, and these are both very similar. Anyway, this is the first one. It's the Petite Mal, and if you're a Louis Vuitton lover, you will know that it's a piece of art. It's a piece of heritage, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love this bag, and I have used this a lot more than I ever thought I would. I thought it would be a piece of Louis Vuitton history that I would love to have, but that it wouldn't get a lot of use. But actually, so that maybe is one that I did buy thinking I wouldn't use it so much. I never thought I'll never use it, but I did think it would be one more because I wanted to have it, if you like. But yeah, I've used this a lot. My daughter really does not like this bag. She really does not like it, and she just says it's just a box. I don't get it. It's quite heavy. You can't fit anything in it. It's just a box. So yeah, a lot of criticism from my daughter on this one. She is not putting her hand up for this one. She really isn't. She really doesn't like it. And I think a couple of other people have the same view, is what is the point? What is the point? It's heavy, it's clunky, it doesn't fit much. It's super expensive, but I love it. So that has had some criticism. And the next one is one that a couple of you have definitely criticised on my channel in the comments, and it is this one. So this is the Petite Mal, but in the supple, from the Infrarouge collection. So this is the one that I bought in New York when I went to meet all the handbag tribe, and I got this from Fashion File, and this has been amazing. And the price of this compared to this is insanely different, but it's going to be. This is a hard-sided piece of Louis Vuitton history. This is a variation of it that's a lot more supple. So this is in the canvas. And anyway, I love this, but this has been criticised because it looks very battered. It looks vintage, which it is. So I don't know if you can see along the top here, it's not very square, it's very squished and mushy, and it has seen better days. It's got a lot of scratches on the hardware. It actually needs a really good clean, but it does have a lot of scratches. And then if you can see again, it looks very puckered along here. This is just wear and tear, guys. I bought this knowing that it wasn't perfect condition, and that's why it was such a great price. I knew that I love this as a little rainy day bag. It is because it comes with the black leather strap. You don't have any vachetta to worry about. And I just love the black and red. I just thought it was really cool. And I liked it that it had the silver hardware, because I think this was part of the men's collection, which generally come with silver hardware. So I love it. And I knew that I didn't want one that was perfect, because then I could, I'm not saying I would use and abuse it, but it could be my rainy day bag. And because it was already showing signs of wear, shall we say, I wasn't going to be worried about it. So that is why I bought it. But it has had some criticism of, you've bought such an old battered bag, like you've paid good money for something that looks like that. So yeah, that has had some criticism, but again, I thought it was a great buy, and I've used this and I will continue to use it. And I think again, it looks like, because it looks like the Petite Mal, I just really like it. So yeah, that has been, I think those two specifically have been critiqued the most. My most complimented bag. This is very difficult. This is because I do tend to get a lot of compliments. depends where we are, depends who I'm with, etc, etc. If I'm with friends around here, I don't get the compliments, or people don't notice, or people do notice but don't say anything because they don't approve of it. Sometimes I don't even take a really nice bag because I don't want the comments. That's the whole of the video. However, if I'm going to an event or going to see the Handbag Tribe, for example, or even if I'm just shopping, people have, I've got 3 bags to show you that I think are probably the most complimented, as in people will, just strangers will come up and say, "I really like your bag," just as you're shopping, or when you go into a store and a sales associate comes over and says, "Oh, I really like your bag." So I'm going to say these 3. Before I do, a couple of my Hermes bags, particularly the Birkins, sometimes do get that sort of attention where people do say, "Oh, your bag's really nice," because they know what it is. So again, Hermes bags have been in there, but these 3 stand out. So let's start with the Speedy P9. Every time I've used this, and I've used this a lot, I really do love it. I do think this is going to come to Paris with me. I think this will be a great bag in Paris because it'll just, it will serve all purposes. Absolutely love it. Anyway, every single time I've used this bag, somebody has said something about it, whether it's, "Oh, I love the bag," "Oh, I love that colour," "Oh, is that a Speedy P9?" "Oh, can I have a look at it? I've never seen one." All those sorts of things. Every single time that I have worn this, somebody said something about how cool it is, or how they love it, or how they just want to feel the leather and that sort of thing. And it isn't just sales associates that have said this. This is, as I say, people just, I might be just in Leeds or in Manchester or something, and somebody will just sort of look and say, "I really like your bag," and I just say, "Oh, thank you." So this definitely is complimented. People tend to know what it is and tend to, I think because it's such a bright colour, it does attract some attention, which generally I don't really like. But when people are just being kind, then it's all good, isn't it? It's all good. The second bag that I get compliments on a lot is this one. So this is the mini capucines, and this is again in an exotic skin. This is lizard, and it is in the colour petrol. So it throws this absolutely, it never comes up on screen, but in real life it throws some absolutely stunning, I don't know if it shows on the sides, it just throws some beautiful, beautiful colours. So it's very neutral, but it's also very, very, very special. So a lot of people again do compliment this because it's very cute and it's just a beautiful looking bag. So I have had a lot of compliments on this one. And then this one, I think this one has to compete with the P9. I think these 2, the one I'm going to show you in the P9, have had the most compliments, but it is this one. And again, every time I've worn this, and again I've worn this a few times, people say, "Oh, I love it, I love your bag, I love it, it's just gorgeous, the colours, the sparkle." It's a very beautiful bag, and yeah, a lot of people do really like this one. So again, on my channel with comments and everything else, a lot of you guys really, really love this bag. So I think this and the P9 are the 2 that are most complimented. You guys know my collection better than me, so if there's any that you think I should have mentioned, put it in the comments below, because I bet there might be something that somebody says, but you never use that one, or you hardly use that one. So yeah, please put them in the comments. I'm just going to thank Jerusha again for tagging me in this. Thank you, my love. And I'm going to tag Joe from Jojo Looks. I'm going to tag, who am I going to tag? Amelia from Amelia Rose's Closet. I know that you are very busy with work, my love, but I'd love to see a video from you. And I am going to tag, who else shall I tag? Maybe Victoria from Accounting for Luxury. So get on it, guys, and I will see you in the next one.